Ever feel like your years blur together, with goals slipping through your fingers? The audiobook Master Your Next Year, Plan, Execute, Achieve is your game changer. Discover a revolutionary system to transform your approach to goal setting and achievement. This guide equips you with practical tools for unparalleled growth, turning vague aspirations into concrete results. Don't let another year pass you by. Seize control of your future and unlock your full potential now. Before we go on, I invite you to download the free bundle, which contains the ebook version of this book and an executive summary of all the chapters with the key takeaways. Studies show that engaging with content through multiple formats significantly enhances learning and retention. Click on the first link in the description to claim your free bundle now and maximize your learning potential. Now it's free, but it won't be for long, so make sure to grab it while you can. Chapter 1, Seed Moment. The dawn of a new year stretches before you, an expanse of untapped potential and boundless opportunity. Yet, as you stand at this threshold, the weight of past experiences and the uncertainty of the future can cloud your vision. This is where the seed moment comes into play, a powerful technique to clear your mind and plant the seeds of intention for the year ahead. Imagine yourself standing in a vast, open field. The soil beneath your feet is rich and fertile, ready to nurture whatever you choose to plant. This field represents the coming year, and you hold in your hands the seeds of your aspirations. But before you can sow these seeds effectively, you must first prepare the ground and yourself. The seed moment is not just a fleeting instance of inspiration. It's a deliberate act of mental and emotional preparation. It's about creating a blank canvas in your mind, free from the clutter of past failures or the anxiety of future challenges. This mental clearing is crucial because it allows you to approach your goals with renewed energy and clarity. Research in cognitive psychology has shown that framing a new beginning, such as the start of a year, can significantly improve our engagement with goals and our ability to follow through on them. By consciously creating this fresh start, you're not just indulging in wishful thinking, you're actually priming your brain for success. When you engage in the seed moment, you're activating specific areas of your brain associated with motivation and planning. This neurological preparation sets the stage for more effective goal setting and execution throughout the year. It's like tuning an instrument before a concert. You're ensuring that your mind is in harmony with your aspirations. So what can you expect to achieve the first time you go through this process? First and foremost, you'll formulate a clear, personal vision for the year ahead. This isn't about vague resolutions or half-hearted promises to yourself. It's about crafting a vivid mental picture of where you want to be and who you want to become over the next 12 months. You'll also establish a mental baseline for approaching long-term goals. This baseline acts as a reference point, allowing you to measure your progress and adjust your strategies as you move forward. It's like setting the home position on a GPS before embarking on a journey. You always know where you started, which makes it easier to navigate towards your destination. Perhaps most importantly, you'll gain initial clarity on the core values that will guide your yearly objectives. These values are the compass that will keep you oriented when faced with decisions or challenges. They ensure that your goals aren't just ambitious, but also deeply meaningful to you on a personal level. As you continue to practice the seed moment technique year after year, you'll notice a progressive refinement of your directional focus. Each cycle builds upon the last, honing your ability to set and pursue goals that truly resonate with your deepest aspirations. You'll develop an increased adaptability and confidence in pursuing bigger dreams, knowing that you have a proven method for turning vision into reality. Moreover, you'll cultivate a sustained mindset of readiness and openness for successive yearly cycles. This mental agility becomes invaluable in a world where change is constant and adaptability is key to success. You're not just planning for a single year, you're developing a lifelong skill of intentional living and goal achievement. Now, let's delve into what's involved in creating your seed moment and the most crucial steps to take. The first and perhaps most critical step is setting aside distraction-free time for envisioning. This isn't something you can do effectively while multitasking or in a noisy environment. Find a quiet space where you can be alone with your thoughts, free from interruptions. Next, you'll need to identify your core values and align them with your long-term aims. This step requires honest self-reflection. What truly matters to you? What principles do you want to guide your actions and decisions? Once you've identified these values, you can use them as a filter for your goals, ensuring that your objectives are not just ambitious, but also authentic to who you are. The third key step is committing to incremental, flexible steps rather than seeking immediate perfection. This approach acknowledges that real, lasting change happens gradually. It's about progress, not perfection. By embracing this mindset, you reduce the pressure to get everything right immediately and open yourself up to learning and growth throughout the year. Why are these steps so crucial, and why have they been arranged in this particular order? The answer lies in the psychology of effective goal setting and achievement. Prioritizing clarity first ensures that every subsequent action has direction. Without a clear vision, it's all too easy to get lost in the details or become overwhelmed by possibilities. Establishing your values early on prevents misaligned efforts later. It's like setting the foundation of a building. Get it right, and everything else has a solid base to build upon. Your values act as a filter, helping you make decisions that are true to yourself and your aspirations. Building mental readiness before diving into tactical planning reduces overwhelm. It's about creating the right mindset, one of openness, possibility, and resilience, before you start mapping out specific actions. This mental preparation is often overlooked, but it's crucial for sustaining motivation and overcoming obstacles throughout the year. As you engage in your seed moment, it's essential to understand the concept of the blank start. This involves defining a mental reset, internalizing the year ahead as an open field for growth. It's about seeing the coming months not as a continuation of past struggles or limitations, but as a fresh opportunity to create the life you desire. Emotional readiness is a key component of this blank start. It means cultivating a calm, centered mindset before you begin detailed planning. This emotional state allows you to approach your goal setting with clarity and optimism rather than anxiety or doubt. Part of this process involves letting go of previous cycles. While it's important to learn from past experiences, it's equally crucial not to carry forward unnecessary burdens. Acknowledge your past, both successes and failures, but don't let them define your future. Each new year is a chance to write a new story. With your mind cleared and ready, the next step is establishing your core intention for the year. This involves distilling your core values, those guiding principles that define who you are and what you stand for. These values will serve as your North Star, keeping you aligned with your true self as you navigate the year ahead. Clarity and direction is crucial at this stage. Choose a primary, inspiring focus for the year. This doesn't mean you can't have multiple goals, but having a central theme or objective can help unify your efforts and provide a sense of purpose to your daily actions. Ensure that there's internal alignment between your chosen goals and your personal values. This congruence is vital for maintaining motivation and authenticity in your pursuits. Goals that resonate deeply with who you are and what you believe in are far more likely to be achieved than those that feel imposed or disconnected from your true self. As you prime yourself for forward action, adopt an incremental commitment mindset. View the year as a series of progressive steps rather than one giant leap. This approach makes large goals less daunting and allows for a more sustainable pace of progress. Incorporate psychological safety nets into your planning. Accept that perfection, especially in the early stages, is neither necessary nor realistic. Give yourself permission to make mistakes, learn, and adjust your course as you go. This flexibility is not a sign of weakness, but a strength that will serve you well throughout the year. Finally, embrace gentle self-permission. Allow yourself to adapt and refine your goals and strategies as you progress. The seed moment is not about locking yourself into a rigid plan, but about setting a direction and being open to the growth and changes that will inevitably occur along the way. As we conclude this chapter, remember that the seed moment is just the beginning of your journey. It's the crucial first step that sets the tone for everything that follows. By clearing your mind, aligning with your values, and setting a clear intention, you're creating the optimal conditions for growth and achievement in the year ahead. In the next chapter, we'll explore how to translate this mental preparation into a tangible, visual representation of your year. You'll learn how to create an annual Vantage, a powerful tool that will keep your goals front and center throughout the months to come. This visual timeline will serve as a constant reminder of your aspirations and a guide to help you stay on track. But for now, take a moment to appreciate the clarity and potential you've cultivated through your seed moment. The field of the new year lies before you, rich with possibility, waiting for the seeds of your intentions to take root and flourish. Before we continue, make sure to subscribe to Grow to the Top and activate notifications to receive more self-improvement tips that will supercharge your growth. And make sure to give this video a thumbs up and share it with your friends. It really helps the channel grow. Thank you for your support. Chapter 2, Annual Vantage. As you stand at the threshold of a new year, armed with the clarity and intention cultivated through your seed moment, you might wonder how to maintain that focus and drive throughout the months ahead. The journey of personal growth and achievement is rarely a straight line, and it's all too easy to lose sight of your goals amidst the daily hustle and bustle of life. This is where the concept of annual Vantage comes into play. A powerful tool that can transform your approach to long-term planning and goal achievement. Imagine having a bird's-eye view of your entire year, spread out before you like a vast landscape. Every peak and valley, every milestone and checkpoint, all visible at a glance. This is the essence of Annual Vantage, a method that allows you to step back and see the big picture while simultaneously keeping track of the details that will lead you to success. But what exactly does Annual Vantage entail? At its core, it's about creating a tangible, visual representation of your year. This isn't just another to-do list or a calendar filled with appointments. It's a comprehensive map of your aspirations, carefully crafted to guide you through the twists and turns of the coming months. The power of this approach lies in its ability to make the abstract concrete. Goals that might once have seemed vague or overwhelming suddenly take on a new clarity when laid out in a visual format. It's like turning on a light in a dimly lit room. Suddenly, everything comes into focus, and the path forward becomes clear. Research in visual spatial learning has shown that our brains are wired to process visual information more effectively than text alone. By anchoring your long-term objectives in a tangible, visible format, you're tapping into this innate cognitive strength. This horizon view of your year doesn't just help you remember your goals, it actively boosts your motivation and helps you maintain alignment with your big picture targets. So, why is this approach so important? First and foremost, it provides a continual visual reminder of your high-level objectives. In a world full of distractions, having your goals literally staring you in the face can be a powerful motivator. It's like having a constant conversation with your future self, reminding you of what's truly important. Moreover, Annual Vantage reduces abstraction, making your yearly goals more concrete. It's one thing to say you want to achieve something by the end of the year. It's another to see that goal broken down into monthly milestones, each one a stepping stone towards your ultimate vision. This concreteness can be incredibly empowering, turning lofty ambitions into actionable plans. Perhaps most importantly, this approach enhances motivation by showing progress across the full year. As you move through the months, marking off completed milestones and approaching new ones, you create a visual record of your journey. This tangible evidence of progress can be a powerful antidote to discouragement, helping you push through challenges and stay committed to your goals. Now, you might be wondering how to put this concept into practice. The process begins with a simple yet powerful exercise. creating a large timeline chart and placing it in your workspace. This isn't a task to be rushed or taken lightly. Take your time, gather your materials, and approach this as a creative endeavor. Start with a large piece of paper, a whiteboard, or even a dedicated wall space. The key is to make it big enough to accommodate the entire year at a glance. Divide your space into 12 sections, one for each month of the year. Within each month, leave room for key dates, milestones, and notes. As you begin to fill in your timeline, consider using color codes for different types of goals or themes. For instance, you might use blue for professional goals, green for personal development, and red for important deadlines or events. This color coding isn't just about aesthetics. It's a powerful way to categorize and prioritize your various objectives at a glance. Remember, your annual Vantage isn't a static document. To truly harness its power, you need to engage with it regularly. Set aside time each week, or at least each month, to review and update your timeline. This regular engagement serves multiple purposes. It keeps your goals fresh in your mind, allows you to track your progress, and gives you the opportunity to adjust your plans as needed. As you implement this strategy, you might be curious about the potential outcomes. At the very least, you can expect an improved awareness of your year's overall structure. This alone can be transformative, helping you navigate your days with a clearer sense of purpose and direction. But the benefits don't stop there. Many who adopt this approach report an enhanced ability to anticipate upcoming challenges and opportunities. By seeing your year laid out before you, you can prepare for busy periods, identify potential conflicts, and spot synergies between different goals or projects. For those who fully embrace the annual Vantage approach, the results can be truly remarkable. Imagine moving through your year with minimal confusion or drift, seamlessly navigating from one milestone to the next. This level of clarity and focus can lead to unprecedented levels of achievement and personal growth. Of course, as with any powerful tool, there are potential pitfalls to be aware of. One common issue is creating an overly complex timeline. In your enthusiasm, you might be tempted to include every detail of your plans. However, this can lead to a cluttered, overwhelming visual that defeats the purpose of clarity. If you find yourself in this situation, take a step back and simplify. Focus on the key milestones and high-level objectives, removing unnecessary details. Another challenge you might face is the temptation to ignore your timeline once it's created. Life gets busy, and it's easy to fall back into old habits. To counter this, set reminders to engage with your annual Vantage regularly. You might even consider making it part of your morning routine, spending a few moments each day reviewing your goals and planning your activities accordingly. If you're using color coding, be mindful of creating a system that's intuitive and consistent. Conflicting or confusing color codes can undermine the effectiveness of your visual timeline. Take the time to standardize your symbols and colors, creating a legend if necessary to ensure you can interpret your timeline at a glance. As you become more comfortable with your annual Vantage, you'll likely find yourself naturally evolving your approach. You might experiment with different spatial layouts, finding new ways to represent the flow of time and the relationship between different goals. Some people find success with a linear timeline, while others prefer a circular layout that emphasizes the cyclical nature of the year. Don't be afraid to get creative with your color coding and symbolism. You might use different shapes to represent different types of milestones or varying shades of a color to indicate the intensity or importance of different goals. The key is to create a system that resonates with you personally, one that speaks to your unique way of processing information. One of the most powerful aspects of the annual Vantage approach is its persistent visibility. By keeping your long-term objectives always in sight, you create a constant reminder of what you're working towards. This persistent presence can serve as a powerful motivator, helping you stay focused even when faced with day-to-day distractions. As you progress through your year, you'll likely find yourself naturally gravitating towards certain milestones. The process of placing these markers on your timeline is more than just a planning exercise. It's a way of making a commitment to your future self. Consider using quarterly markers to define phased progress, giving you natural points to pause, reflect, and recalibrate. Between these quarterly markers, you might add staggered benchmarks, smaller, intermediate checkpoints that help break down your larger goals into more manageable chunks. These benchmarks can serve as stepping stones, each one bringing you closer to your ultimate objectives. Remember, your annual Vantage is a living document. As you move through the year, don't be afraid to adjust your milestones on the fly. Life is unpredictable, and flexibility is key to long-term success. If you find that certain goals need to be pushed back or brought forward, make those changes. The power of this approach lies not in rigid adherence to an initial plan, but in its ability to evolve with you. The cognitive benefits of this visual structuring approach are profound. By turning vague plans into tangible targets, you reduce ambiguity and increase your sense of control over your future. Each time you look at your timeline, you're reinforcing your goals and commitments, strengthening your resolve to achieve them. This visual approach also fosters a sense of anticipation. As you see yourself approaching key milestones, you'll likely feel a growing sense of excitement and motivation. This anticipation can be a powerful driving force, propelling you forward even when the going gets tough. Perhaps most importantly, the annual Vantage approach encourages ongoing engagement with your goals. By creating a visual representation that you interact with regularly, you're constantly reinforcing your commitment to your objectives. This frequent reference and updating keeps your goals at the forefront of your mind, making it more likely that you'll take consistent action towards achieving them. As we conclude this exploration of annual Vantage, take a moment to imagine the impact this approach could have on your life. Picture yourself moving through the year with a clear sense of direction, each day bringing you closer to your goals. Envision the satisfaction of marking off completed milestones, the motivation of seeing your progress laid out before you, and the clarity that comes from having a bird's-eye view of your journey. But this is just the beginning. As powerful as the annual Vantage approach is, it's only one piece of the puzzle. In the next chapter, we'll delve into a strategy that will take your goal setting to an even deeper level. We'll explore a method that breaks down those lofty annual targets into manageable, actionable steps. Prepare to discover how to turn your big-picture vision into a series of small, achievable victories. The journey from dreaming to doing is about to begin. Chapter 3: Granular Mapping. As we journey deeper into the art of mastering your year, we encounter a concept that might seem paradoxical at first glance. How can breaking things down lead to building them up? This is the essence of granular mapping, a powerful technique that transforms lofty aspirations into tangible realities. Imagine standing at the base of a towering mountain, your annual goal looming high above you. The sheer magnitude of the climb ahead might seem daunting, perhaps even impossible. But what if you could shrink that mountain? Not in size, but in perception. What if you could see it not as one insurmountable peak, but as a series of smaller, more manageable hills? This is the magic of granular mapping. It's about taking those big, audacious goals you've set for yourself and breaking them down into smaller, bite-sized pieces. But it's more than just creating a to-do list. It's a strategic approach to goal achievement that leverages the way our brains are wired for success. At its core, granular mapping is about creating a detailed roadmap for your journey. It's about plotting out the steps you'll take, not just over the course of a year, but over the next 90 days, the next week, even the next day. It's about turning the abstract into the concrete, the overwhelming into the achievable. But why is this approach so powerful? The answer lies in a psychological principle known as the progress principle. Research has shown that of all the things that can boost emotions, motivation, and perceptions during a workday, the single most important is making progress in meaningful work. Even a small win can boost what researchers call inner work life. By breaking your goals down into smaller, time-bound segments, you create opportunities for these small wins on a regular basis. Each completed task, no matter how minor it might seem in the grand scheme of things, is a step forward. It's tangible progress that you can see and feel, and it fuels your motivation to keep going. This approach is particularly effective because it simplifies big aims into manageable segments. When you're faced with a massive goal, it's easy to feel overwhelmed. Where do you even begin? But when that same goal is broken down into smaller objectives, suddenly the path forward becomes clear. You know exactly what you need to do today, this week, this month to move closer to your ultimate aim. Moreover, granular mapping reduces intimidation by focusing on short-term achievements. Instead of constantly fixating on a far-off finish line, you're able to concentrate on the next step right in front of you. This shift in focus can be incredibly liberating. It allows you to pour all your energy and attention into the task at hand, rather than worrying about everything that still lies ahead. Perhaps most importantly, this approach maintains a steady sense of momentum and direction. When you're working towards a year-long goal, it's easy to lose steam. Weeks or even months might go by where you feel like you're not making any progress. But with granular mapping, you're constantly moving forward. Each completed micro-mission is a step in the right direction, keeping you on track and motivated. So how do we put this powerful concept into practice? It starts with a simple yet profound exercise, defining quarterly objectives for each of your major goals. Take a look at your annual targets and ask yourself, what needs to happen in the next 90 days to move me significantly closer to this goal? This 90-day framework is crucial. It's long enough to allow for significant progress, but short enough to maintain a sense of urgency. It creates a natural rhythm to your year, giving you 4 distinct sprints to focus your efforts. Once you have your quarterly objectives in place, the next step is to break them down even further. Convert each quarterly objective into a set of weekly tasks. These are your micro-missions, small, concrete actions that you can complete within a week's time. The key here is to make these micro-missions as specific and actionable as possible. Instead of work on project, your micro-mission might be complete first draft of project outline or research 3 potential solutions for project roadblock. The more specific you can be, the easier it will be to take action and track your progress. To keep yourself on track, consider using a planner or digital tool to assign specific deadlines to each of your tasks. This adds another layer of concreteness to your plan, turning abstract intentions into time-bound commitments. As you implement this granular mapping approach, you might be curious about the potential outcomes. At the very least, you can expect to see more consistent weekly progress with fewer stalled weeks. The regular cadence of micro-missions keeps you moving forward, even when motivation might be low. For those who fully embrace this method, the results can be truly transformative. You'll develop a clear understanding of the path from start to finish. Instead of a vague notion of where you want to be at the end of the year, you'll have a detailed roadmap of how to get there. At its best, granular mapping leads to predictable, compound growth. Each completed micro-mission builds towards your significant yearly achievement. It's like watching a savings account grow. Small, regular deposits accumulate over time into an impressive sum. Of course, as with any powerful tool, there are potential pitfalls to be aware of. One common issue is setting overly ambitious weekly targets. In your enthusiasm, you might be tempted to pack your week with an unrealistic number of tasks. If you find yourself consistently falling short of your weekly goals, it's a sign that you need to scale back. Remember, the aim is steady, consistent progress, not burnout. Another challenge you might face is losing track of priorities. As you focus on your weekly micro-missions, it's possible to lose sight of the bigger picture. To counter this, make sure to regularly revisit your quarterly goals. This will help you recalibrate and ensure that your daily and weekly actions are still aligned with your larger objectives. Flexibility is also key. Life is unpredictable, and circumstances can change. Allow yourself the freedom to adapt your micro-missions as needed. If a particular approach isn't working, or if new opportunities arise, don't be afraid to adjust your plan. As you become more comfortable with granular mapping, you might want to explore more advanced techniques. One powerful approach is time blocking. This involves allocating specific hours in your day for focused work on your micro missions. By reserving these periods and treating them as non-negotiable appointments with yourself, you create the space needed to make consistent progress on your goals. When implementing time blocking, it's crucial to minimize distractions. This might mean turning off notifications on your phone, finding a quiet workspace, or using tools to block distracting websites. The key is to create an environment that allows you to give your full attention to the task at hand. Consistency and routine are also important factors in the success of granular mapping. Try to schedule your focused work periods at the same time each day or week. This regularity helps to build a habit, making it easier to stick to your plan over the long term. Another powerful element of the granular mapping approach is the use of iterative progress checks. At the end of each week, take some time to reflect on what you've accomplished. Evaluate the outcomes of each set of tasks. Did you complete everything you set out to do? If not, why? Use these reflections to inform your planning for the coming week. Don't be afraid to adjust the frequency and volume of your tasks based on these reflections. If you're consistently overachieving, you might increase your weekly workload. If you're struggling to keep up, it might be time to scale back. The goal is to find a pace that challenges you without overwhelming you. Perhaps most importantly, make sure to acknowledge and celebrate your achievements, no matter how small they might seem. Each completed micro-mission is a step towards your larger goal, and it deserves recognition. This positive reinforcement can be a powerful motivator, fueling your ongoing efforts. As we conclude this exploration of granular mapping, take a moment to imagine the impact this approach could have on your life. Picture yourself moving steadily towards your goals, each day bringing you closer to your aspirations. Envision the satisfaction of ticking off completed tasks, the motivation of seeing your progress laid out before you, and the clarity that comes from knowing exactly what you need to do next. But remember, granular mapping is just one piece of the puzzle. As powerful as this approach is, it's most effective when combined with other strategies. In the next chapter, we'll delve into a concept that will help you navigate the complex landscape of your goals and aspirations. We'll explore a method that ensures you're not just busy, but truly productive. Prepare to discover how to cut through the noise and focus on what truly matters. The journey from quantity to quality is about to begin. Chapter 4: Priority Sculpting. In the journey of personal growth and achievement, we often find ourselves juggling numerous tasks, goals, and aspirations. It's easy to fall into the trap of thinking that doing more equates to achieving more. But what if the key to extraordinary success lies not in adding to your plate, but in carefully curating what's already there? Enter the concept of priority sculpting. Like a master sculptor who chips away at a block of marble to reveal the masterpiece within, this approach invites you to pare down your numerous commitments and focus on what truly matters. It's about crafting a year of purpose and impact by identifying and nurturing the most crucial elements of your aspirations. But what does this sculpting process entail, and how can it transform your approach to goal achievement? As we delve deeper into this chapter, you'll discover a powerful method for distilling your efforts and maximizing your potential. At its core, priority sculpting is about making choices. Important, sometimes difficult choices about where to direct your time, energy, and resources. It's about recognizing that not all tasks are created equal, and that some activities have the potential to create far more impact than others. This approach is grounded in a principle that has revolutionized thinking in fields ranging from economics to personal development, the Pareto principle, also known as the 80-20 rule. This principle suggests that roughly 80% of effects come from 20% of causes. In the context of personal achievement, this means that a small number of your efforts are likely responsible for the majority of your results. By tapping into this principle, priority sculpting allows you to reduce cognitive overload through selective focus. Instead of spreading yourself thin across numerous tasks, you concentrate your efforts on the vital few that will yield the most significant results. It's about working smarter, not just harder. But why is this approach so important? First and foremost, it prevents diluted effort from spreading too thin. In today's world of constant distractions and endless opportunities, it's easy to fall into the trap of trying to do everything. But when we attempt to juggle too many priorities, we often end up making minimal progress on many fronts, rather than significant progress in areas that truly matter. Priority sculpting enhances clarity by spotlighting what truly matters. When you're clear about your top priorities, decision-making becomes easier. You have a framework for evaluating new opportunities and deciding where to invest your time and energy. This clarity can be incredibly liberating, freeing you from the constant anxiety of wondering if you're focusing on the right things. Moreover, this approach increases efficiency by directing energy into high-impact areas. By focusing on your most critical priorities, you ensure that your efforts are aligned with your most important goals. This alignment can lead to a dramatic increase in productivity and a sense of fulfillment as you see yourself making tangible progress towards your most valued objectives. So how do we put this powerful concept into practice? It starts with a simple yet profound exercise, listing all your current initiatives and then circling the top 5 most critical. This process forces you to confront the full scope of your commitments and make conscious choices about what truly deserves your attention. As you engage in this exercise, you might find it challenging to narrow down your list. That's normal. We often attach emotional significance to our various projects and goals, making it difficult to let go. But remember, the aim here is not to abandon everything else permanently, but to create a laser focus on what will drive the most significant breakthroughs in your year. To aid in this decision-making process, consider creating a visual chart contrasting high versus low-value tasks. This can help you see more clearly which activities are truly moving the needle towards your most important goals and which are merely keeping you busy without producing meaningful results. Once you've identified your critical 5, it's crucial to set checkpoints throughout the year to review and confirm that these chosen priorities remain the highest impact areas for your focus. Priorities can shift as circumstances change, and what seemed critical at the beginning of the year might become less important as new opportunities or challenges arise. As you implement priority sculpting, you might be curious about the potential outcomes. At the very least, you can expect reduced mental clutter and clearer daily to-do lists. By focusing on a smaller number of high-priority tasks, you'll find it easier to plan your days and weeks, knowing exactly what deserves your attention. For those who fully embrace this method, the results can be truly transformative. You'll likely see consistent progress on your most value-producing endeavors. Instead of inching forward on numerous fronts, you'll be making significant strides in the areas that matter most. At its best, priority sculpting leads to a streamlined workflow that delivers maximum results with minimal wasted effort. You'll find yourself accomplishing more while feeling less overwhelmed as your energy is channeled into activities that truly move the needle. Of course, as with any powerful tool, there are potential pitfalls to be aware of. One common challenge is the difficulty of letting go of tasks. We often feel a sense of obligation or attachment to our various commitments, making it hard to pare down our list. If you find yourself struggling to eliminate tasks, remind yourself of the cost of divided attention. Every low-impact task you hold on to is taking energy away from your most critical priorities. Another issue you might face is shifting priorities mid-year. Life is dynamic, and what seemed crucial in January might be less important by June. That's why it's essential to reevaluate and update your critical 5 periodically. Don't be afraid to adjust your focus if circumstances change or new opportunities arise. Uncertainty about the value of different tasks can also be a stumbling block. To address this, consider using simple metrics to confirm each task's true impact. This could involve tracking the time spent on various activities and comparing it to the results produced, or setting specific, measurable goals for each priority and regularly assessing progress. As you become more adept at priority sculpting, you'll develop a keener sense for identifying the critical few tasks that deserve your focus. This selection process typically involves 3 key criteria: impact, alignment, and feasibility. Impact refers to the potential results of the task or goal. Ask yourself, if I achieve this, what difference will it make to my overall objectives? Alignment is about how well the task fits with your broader vision and values. A high-impact task that's misaligned with your core priorities might not be worth pursuing. Feasibility considers whether you have the resources, skills, and time to realistically achieve the goal. Once you've identified your critical priorities, the next step is systematically eliminating non-essentials. This doesn't necessarily mean abandoning these tasks entirely. Some might be delegated, others postponed, and some might need to be let go completely. The key is to create space for your most important work. In this process, it's crucial to balance ambition with realism. Your critical 5 should challenge you and push you towards significant growth, but they should also be achievable with focused effort. Setting unrealistic goals can lead to frustration and burnout, undermining the entire purpose of priority sculpting. One of the most significant benefits of this approach is its impact on cognitive load management. By preserving your mental bandwidth and filtering out noise, you create space for deep, focused work on your most important priorities. This can lead to higher quality output and greater satisfaction in your work. Priority sculpting also enables you to maintain uninterrupted work sessions more easily. When you're clear about your top priorities, it's easier to justify setting boundaries around your time and saying no to less important demands on your attention. Perhaps surprisingly, this focused approach can also bring emotional relief. Many people find that simplifying their priorities reduces stress and anxiety. There's a certain peace that comes from knowing you're focusing on what truly matters, rather than constantly worrying about a long list of tasks you'll never have time to complete. To sustain the benefits of priority sculpting over time, it's important to engage in periodic reevaluation. Set regular intervals, perhaps quarterly, to check in on your priorities and ensure they still align with your overall goals and current circumstances. As you progress through the year, be on guard against scope creep. It's natural for new tasks and opportunities to arise, but be cautious about letting these overwhelm your core goals. Each time you consider adding a new commitment, ask yourself how it compares in importance to your current critical 5. Finally, learn to appreciate clarity as a performance driver. In a world that often equates busyness with productivity, there's a unique power in simplicity and focus. As you see the results of your streamlined efforts, you'll likely find yourself more committed than ever to the principle of doing less, but better. As we conclude this exploration of priority sculpting, take a moment to imagine the impact this approach could have on your life. Picture yourself moving through your days with clarity and purpose, your energy focused on the tasks that truly matter. Envision the satisfaction of making significant progress on your most important goals, free from the constant distraction of low-value activities. But remember, priority sculpting is just one piece of the puzzle. As powerful as this approach is, it's most effective when combined with other strategies. In the next chapter, we'll explore a concept that will help you turn your prioritized goals into ingrained habits. We'll delve into a method that aligns your daily routines with your most important objectives, creating a seamless flow between your aspirations and your actions. Prepare to discover how to weave your priorities into the very fabric of your day. The journey from intention to automatic execution is about to begin. Chapter 5, Ritual Stacking. In the pursuit of our goals, we often focus on the big picture, the grand vision of where we want to be. But what if the key to achieving those lofty ambitions lies in the small, seemingly insignificant moments of our day? What if the path to extraordinary accomplishment is paved with ordinary, everyday actions? This is where the concept of ritual stacking comes into play. It's an approach that might seem deceptively simple at first glance, but holds within it the power to transform your entire year, and indeed your life. But what exactly is ritual stacking, and how can it propel you towards your goals with an almost effortless momentum? At its core, ritual stacking is about creating a bridge between your daily actions and your long-term objectives. It's about weaving your aspirations into the very fabric of your day, turning your goals from distant dreams into lived realities. But how does this work in practice? Imagine your day as a series of building blocks, each one representing a small action or habit. Ritual stacking is the art of carefully arranging these blocks, stacking them in a way that creates a sturdy structure of progress towards your goals. It's about creating a sequence of actions, a ritual, if you will, that aligns perfectly with your yearly objectives. But why is this approach so powerful? The answer lies in the way our brains are wired. Behavioral psychology has shown us that new habits stick more easily when they're paired with existing routines. This is the principle of habit stacking, attaching a new behavior to one that's already ingrained in your daily life. By introducing sensory cues and consistent actions, you create a trigger for your brain, a signal that it's time to engage in behaviors that move you towards your goals. Over time, these actions become automatic, reducing the need for willpower and making progress almost effortless. The importance of this approach cannot be overstated. First and foremost, it stabilizes your daily routines, helping you maintain momentum even when motivation wanes. We all have days when we don't feel like working towards our goals, but with well-established rituals in place, you can keep moving forward regardless of your mood. Moreover, ritual stacking reinforces your goals through habitual repetition. Each time you perform your ritual, you're not just taking action, you're also reminding yourself of your objectives, strengthening your commitment to them. It's like leaving breadcrumbs for your future self, constantly guiding you back to the path of your aspirations. Perhaps most importantly, this approach reduces willpower depletion by making actions automatic. Willpower is a finite resource, and the more decisions we have to make throughout the day, the more it gets depleted. By turning goal-oriented actions into automatic rituals, you conserve your willpower for other important tasks and decisions. So how do we put this powerful concept into practice? It starts with a simple yet profound exercise, identifying an existing routine and attaching a new goal-oriented habit to it. This could be as simple as adding a few minutes of visualization to your morning coffee routine, or incorporating a brief review of your goals into your nightly wind-down. The key is to choose an existing habit that's already firmly established in your daily life. This becomes your anchor, the foundation upon which you'll build your new ritual. By piggybacking on an existing habit, you leverage the power of your brain's established neural pathways, making it easier to form and maintain the new habit. Once you've identified your anchor habit, the next step is to introduce a trigger item, a specific sound, object, or action that signals the start of your ritual. This could be anything from a particular piece of music to a special candle you light. The purpose of this trigger is to create a clear transition point, signaling to your brain that it's time to shift into your goal-oriented mindset. To ensure that your new ritual takes root, it's crucial to track your adherence for a set period. This doesn't have to be complicated. A simple check mark on a calendar can suffice. The act of tracking serves two purposes. It keeps you accountable, and it provides tangible evidence of your progress, which can be incredibly motivating. As you implement ritual stacking, you might be curious about the potential outcomes. At the very least, you can expect to see a gradual improvement in your daily consistency. You'll find yourself naturally gravitating towards actions that support your goals, even on days when you're not feeling particularly motivated. For those who fully embrace this method, the results can be truly transformative. You'll likely experience a stronger alignment between your habits and your yearly targets. Your daily actions will become a direct reflection of your long-term aspirations, creating a powerful sense of congruence and purpose in your life. At its best, ritual stacking leads to a streamlined daily rhythm where progress happens almost automatically. You'll find yourself moving towards your goals with an effortless momentum, your actions guided by well-established rituals rather than fleeting bursts of motivation. Of course, as with any powerful tool, there are potential pitfalls to be aware of. One common issue is rituals feeling forced or unnatural. If you find yourself struggling with this, the solution is often to simplify or shorten the ritual steps. Remember, the goal is to create sustainable habits, not to overwhelm yourself with complex routines. Another challenge you might face is inconsistent triggers. If your chosen cue isn't reliably present in your environment, it can disrupt the entire ritual. The fix for this is to select a more dependable trigger, something that's consistently available regardless of your circumstances. Habit fatigue is another potential obstacle. Over time, even the most well-designed rituals can start to feel stale or boring. To combat this, consider rotating ritual elements to maintain freshness. This doesn't mean completely overhauling your routine, but rather introducing small variations to keep things interesting and engaging. As you become more adept at ritual stacking, you'll want to focus on designing truly meaningful routines. This is where the art of crafting morning activation rituals and evening reflection rituals comes into play. Morning activation rituals are all about setting the tone for your day. They're designed to put you in the right mindset, energize you, and align your focus with your most important goals. This could involve activities like meditation, journaling, or reviewing your objectives for the day. Evening reflection rituals, on the other hand, are about encouraging closure and review. They provide an opportunity to wind down, reflect on your progress, and prepare for the next day. This might include practices like gratitude journaling, planning for tomorrow, or engaging in a calming activity that helps you transition into restful sleep. The power of these rituals often lies in the symbolic elements you incorporate. These are sensory cues that prompt desired mental and emotional states. For instance, the scent of a particular essential oil might signal that it's time to focus, or a specific piece of music could cue your brain that it's time to reflect and wind down. Understanding the principles of habit formation can greatly enhance your ritual stacking practice. One key concept is that of anchor behaviors, existing habits that you can link new actions to. By attaching your new goal-oriented habits to established routines, you make them much more likely to stick. Reinforcement loops are another crucial element. These involve using small acknowledgments or rewards to solidify your new patterns. This doesn't have to be anything elaborate. Even a simple mental pat on the back can be effective. The key is to create a positive association with your ritual, encouraging your brain to seek out that rewarding feeling again and again. Maintaining stable contexts for your rituals is also important. This means trying to perform your rituals in similar environmental conditions each time. This consistency helps to strengthen the neural pathways associated with your new habits, making them more automatic over time. As you progress with ritual stacking, remember that your rituals should evolve along with you. Be open to making seasonal adjustments, allowing your routines to shift with the changing rhythms of your life. What works perfectly in summer might need tweaking as winter approaches. Don't be afraid to remove ineffective steps from your rituals. If a particular element isn't serving you or feels like a chore, it's okay to let it go. The goal is to create rituals that energize and inspire you, not ones that feel like a burden. Treat your rituals as living, evolving tools. Engage in continuous refinement, always looking for ways to make your routines more effective and aligned with your goals. This might involve experimenting with new elements, adjusting the timing of your rituals, or finding ways to deepen their impact. As we conclude this exploration of ritual stacking, take a moment to imagine the impact this approach could have on your life. Picture yourself moving through your days with purpose and intention, each action aligned with your most important goals. Envision the satisfaction of making consistent progress, your aspirations woven seamlessly into the fabric of your daily life. But remember, ritual stacking is just one piece of the puzzle. As powerful as this approach is, it's most effective when combined with other strategies. In the next chapter, we'll delve into a concept that will help you harness the power of your environment to supercharge your progress. We'll explore a method that turns your surroundings into a catalyst for success, creating an ecosystem that naturally propels you towards your goals. Prepare to discover how to transform your space into a launchpad for achievement. The journey from intention to inevitable success is about to take an exciting turn. Chapter 6: Momentum Anchors. Have you ever noticed how certain environments seem to effortlessly draw out your best work? Or how a particular object or sound can instantly shift your mindset, priming you for focused action? These aren't mere coincidences or quirks of personality. They're powerful psychological triggers that, when harnessed intentionally, can dramatically enhance your productivity and propel you towards your goals. Welcome to the world of momentum anchors. This concept might sound abstract at first, but as we delve deeper, you'll discover how it can transform your workspace into a launchpad for achievement. But what exactly are momentum anchors, and how can they create an unstoppable force in your pursuit of success? At its core, the idea of momentum anchors is about creating a bridge between your physical environment and your mental state. It's about strategically placing objects, sounds, or even scents in your workspace that serve as powerful cues, signaling to your brain that it's time to shift into a specific mode of work or thought. Imagine having a secret switch that, when flipped, instantly transports you into a state of deep focus or boundless creativity. That's the essence of what we're aiming to create with momentum anchors. But how does this work on a psychological level? The power of this approach lies in a concept from environmental psychology known as environmental conditioning. This theory highlights how our surroundings can produce rapid mental shifts, influencing our behavior and cognitive processes. By deliberately associating certain visual, auditory, or tactile cues with specific tasks or mental states, we can train our brains to respond more quickly and effectively to these stimuli. Think of it as creating a series of mental shortcuts. Instead of having to consciously psych yourself up for a challenging task or struggle to transition between different types of work, you simply engage with your chosen anchor, and your mind automatically shifts gears. But why is this approach so important? First and foremost, it facilitates quick mental shifts between activities. In our fast-paced world, the ability to swiftly transition from one task to another without losing momentum is invaluable. Momentum anchors act as cognitive bridges, helping you navigate these transitions with minimal mental friction. Moreover, this strategy reduces decision fatigue by standardizing your starting cues. Every decision we make throughout the day, no matter how small, depletes our mental energy. By creating consistent signals for different work modes, you eliminate the need to decide how to begin each task, conserving your mental resources for the work itself. Perhaps most importantly, momentum anchors help maintain a high level of readiness and focus. They serve as constant reminders of your intentions, keeping you aligned with your goals and primed for action. It's like having a personal coach always at the ready, gently nudging you towards your most productive state. So how do we put this powerful concept into practice? It starts with a simple yet profound exercise, selecting an object to represent your deep work mode. This could be anything from a special pen to a unique paperweight. The key is to choose something that resonates with you and can be easily incorporated into your workspace. Once you've chosen your deep work anchor, the next step is to consistently use it when you're engaging in focused, high-value tasks. Place it prominently on your desk when it's time to dive deep, and remove it when you're done. Over time, your brain will begin to associate the presence of this object with a state of intense concentration. But visual cues are just the beginning. Introducing auditory anchors can be equally powerful. Consider selecting a particular piece of music or ambient sound to signal the transition to creative tasks. This could be a specific playlist, a nature sound, or even a single tone. The key is consistency. Use the same sound each time you're ready to shift into creative mode. As you implement these anchors, remember that their effectiveness may wane over time. Our brains are remarkably adaptable, and what once served as a powerful trigger can become background noise if we're not careful. To combat this, don't be afraid to rotate or adjust your anchors periodically. This keeps the associations fresh and maintains their impact. As you begin to work with momentum anchors, you might be curious about the potential outcomes. At the very least, you can expect to experience faster settling into work sessions. You'll likely find that the mere presence of your chosen anchor helps you bypass the usual warm-up period, allowing you to dive straight into productive work. For those who fully embrace this method, the results can be truly transformative. You'll likely see consistently improved productivity and output quality. As your brain becomes more attuned to your anchors, you'll find yourself slipping into optimal work states more easily and maintaining focus for longer periods. At its best, the use of momentum anchors leads to effortless mental entry into optimal work states, minimizing lag time between intention and action. Imagine being able to summon your most focused, creative, or analytical self at will, simply by engaging with a carefully chosen cue. This is the power of well-established momentum anchors. Of course, as with any powerful tool, there are potential pitfalls to be aware of. One common issue is anchor overload. In your enthusiasm, you might be tempted to create anchors for every conceivable task or mental state. However, this can lead to confusion and dilute the effectiveness of your cues. It's generally best to limit yourself to a few key anchors, focusing on your most important or frequently used work modes. Another challenge you might face is losing the meaning of a cue over time. If you find that a particular anchor is no longer eliciting the desired mental shift, it may be time to reinforce or refresh the association. This could involve taking a short break from using that anchor or pairing it with a new complementary cue to revitalize its impact. Inconsistent application is another potential stumbling block. For momentum anchors to work their magic, they need to be used consistently. Commit to engaging with your anchors every time you transition into the associated work mode, even on days when you're feeling less motivated. This consistency is key to building strong mental associations. As you become more adept at using momentum anchors, you might want to explore more advanced techniques for environmental cueing. One powerful approach is spatial zoning, assigning distinct areas of your workspace to different activities. This might involve having a specific corner for creative work, another for analytical tasks, and so on. By consistently using these zones for their designated purposes, you create additional layers of environmental conditioning. Sensory triggers beyond sight and sound can also be incredibly effective. Consider incorporating specific scents into your anchor system. Our sense of smell has a direct line to the limbic system, the part of our brain responsible for emotions and memory. A particular essential oil or candle scent can become a powerful trigger for a specific mental state. The goal of all these techniques is to facilitate rapid state shifts, to minimize the gap between your intention to work and actually getting started. By building strong, consistent associations between your anchors and your desired mental states, you create a kind of mental shorthand. Over time, simply seeing, hearing, or smelling your chosen cue can instantly prime your brain for the task at hand. This consistent association is key to the power of momentum anchors. Each time you use your anchor in conjunction with its designated task, you're reinforcing the neural pathways that link the two. It's a form of self-directed neuroplasticity, training your brain to respond more quickly and effectively to your chosen stimuli. Repetition is crucial for building reliability into this system. The more frequently you practice using your anchors, the stronger and more automatic the associations become. Over time, you may find that merely thinking about your anchor can begin to shift your mental state, even if the physical cue isn't present. To sustain the performance-enhancing effects of your momentum anchors over the long term, it's important to engage in some simple maintenance practices. Keep your workspace organized and your anchors easily accessible. A cluttered environment can dilute the impact of your cues and make it harder to maintain focus. Routine inspections of your anchor system are also valuable. Set aside time periodically to evaluate the effectiveness of your cues. Are they still eliciting the desired mental shifts? Are there areas of your work that could benefit from new or different anchors? This ongoing assessment helps ensure that your system remains relevant and impactful. Don't be afraid to upgrade your anchors as your needs evolve. As you grow and your work changes, you may find that certain cues no longer serve you as well as they once did. Introducing new anchors or modifying existing ones can help your system stay aligned with your current goals and working style. As we conclude this exploration of momentum anchors, take a moment to imagine the impact this approach could have on your productivity and goal achievement. Picture your workspace transformed into a finely tuned instrument, each carefully chosen cue a key that, when pressed, unlocks your optimal mental state. Envision yourself moving seamlessly between tasks, your environment working in harmony with your intentions to propel you towards your objectives. But remember, momentum anchors are just one piece of the puzzle. As powerful as this approach is, it's most effective when combined with other strategies. In the next chapter, we'll delve into a concept that will help you navigate the inevitable challenges and setbacks that arise on any journey of achievement. We'll explore a method that turns potential obstacles into stepping stones, transforming your approach to problem solving and resilience. Prepare to discover how to build an unshakable foundation for success, one that can weather any storm. The journey from reactive to proactive is about to begin, and you won't want to miss what comes next. Chapter 7: Obstacle Immunity. In the pursuit of our goals, we often envision a smooth, uninterrupted journey towards success. We picture ourselves making steady progress, overcoming challenges with ease, and reaching our objectives right on schedule. But reality has a way of throwing curveballs, doesn't it? Unexpected obstacles crop up, setbacks occur, and sometimes it feels like we're taking 2 steps back for every step forward. What if there was a way to anticipate these challenges before they arise? What if you could develop a kind of immunity to the obstacles that typically derail progress and sap motivation? This is where the concept of obstacle immunity comes into play. But what exactly does it mean to be immune to obstacles, and how can we cultivate this seemingly superhuman ability? At its core, obstacle immunity is about developing a proactive mindset towards challenges. It's about shifting from a reactive stance, where we're constantly caught off guard by setbacks, to a prepared position where we've already anticipated and planned for potential hurdles. But how do we make this shift, and what does it look like in practice? The key lies in a powerful technique known as fail forecasting. This might sound pessimistic at first glance. After all, aren't we supposed to focus on success? But fail forecasting isn't about dwelling on negative outcomes. Instead, it's a strategic approach to identifying potential pitfalls so that we can navigate around them more effectively. The power of this approach is grounded in a psychological concept known as mental contrasting. Research has shown that when we identify and plan for obstacles in advance, we actually reduce stress and improve our problem-solving abilities. It's like giving our brain a head start on tackling challenges, allowing us to approach them with greater calm and clarity when they do arise. But why is this approach so important? First and foremost, it minimizes disruptions by ensuring we have pre-planned countermeasures in place. Instead of being blindsided by setbacks and scrambling to respond, we can quickly implement strategies we've already thought through. This not only saves time, but also helps maintain momentum towards our goals. Moreover, this proactive stance significantly reduces stress. There's a certain peace of mind that comes from knowing you've considered potential challenges and have plans in place to address them. It's like having a safety net. You can pursue your goals with greater confidence, knowing you're prepared for whatever might come your way. Perhaps most importantly, obstacle immunity enhances our adaptability by normalizing change. When we regularly engage in fail forecasting, we start to see obstacles not as insurmountable barriers, but as natural parts of the journey. This shift in perspective can be incredibly empowering, allowing us to navigate changes with greater ease and flexibility. So how do we put this powerful concept into practice? It starts with a simple yet profound exercise: scheduling quarterly fail forecast sessions. These are dedicated times where you sit down and deliberately consider the challenges you might face in the coming months. It's about taking a clear-eyed look at your goals and asking yourself, what could go wrong? During these sessions, start by listing common challenges you might face in each quarter. These could be related to your work, personal life, or any other area relevant to your goals. Don't hold back. The more comprehensive your list, the better prepared you'll be. Once you've identified potential obstacles, the next step is to draft quick response plans or backup strategies for each identified risk. This doesn't need to be an exhaustive plan. Even a few bullet points outlining your approach can be incredibly valuable. The key is to have a starting point, a direction to move in when challenges arise. To ensure you stay on top of this process, set calendar reminders to revisit and update your contingency plans regularly. This keeps your obstacle immunity strong and relevant, adapting to new circumstances as they emerge. As you implement this approach, you might be curious about the potential outcomes. At the very least, you can expect to experience faster recovery from setbacks. When challenges arise, you'll have a head start on addressing them, allowing you to bounce back more quickly and maintain your momentum. For those who fully embrace this method, the results can be truly transformative. You'll likely experience reduced anxiety and smoother progress under pressure. Knowing that you've already considered potential obstacles and have plans in place can provide a sense of calm and confidence, even in the face of significant challenges. At its best, obstacle immunity leads to an unshakable confidence in your ability to handle any obstacle. You'll develop a resilience that allows you to approach your goals with greater boldness, knowing that you're prepared for whatever might come your way. Of course, as with any powerful tool, there are potential pitfalls to be aware of. One common issue is overlooking likely obstacles. In your fail forecast sessions, it's important to reassess each quarter's unique conditions. What might have been a non-issue 3 months ago could become a significant challenge in the coming quarter. Another challenge you might face is creating generic response plans. While it's good to have general strategies, it's even better to tailor your responses to specific types of setbacks. The more detailed and relevant your plans, the more effective they'll be when you need to implement them. It's also crucial to keep your strategies updated. As your goals evolve and your circumstances change, new challenges may emerge. Regular refreshes of your plans ensure they remain relevant and effective. As you become more adept at obstacle immunity, you'll likely find yourself engaging in predictive problem solving. This involves not just identifying potential obstacles, but anticipating failure points before they become apparent. It's about developing a keen eye for where things might go wrong, allowing you to address issues before they even arise. One effective approach is to categorize obstacles by type or impact. This might involve grouping challenges into categories like financial risks, time management issues, or external factors beyond your control. By organizing potential obstacles in this way, you can develop more comprehensive and efficient response strategies. It's also valuable to prioritize high-impact risks. While it's good to be prepared for a wide range of challenges, some potential obstacles pose a greater threat to your goals than others. By focusing on addressing the biggest threats first, you ensure that you're well prepared for the challenges that could have the most significant impact on your progress. Developing preemptive action plans is another crucial aspect of obstacle immunity. This involves creating ready-to-use responses that you can implement immediately when challenges arise. Think of these as your emergency toolkit, a set of strategies you can quickly deploy to address common obstacles. Contingency scheduling is another powerful technique. This involves building buffers into your timeline, allowing for unexpected delays or setbacks. By giving yourself this extra breathing room, you reduce the stress of tight deadlines and create space to navigate challenges without derailing your entire plan. One particularly effective strategy is pressure testing scenarios. This involves mentally rehearsing your responses to potential obstacles. By visualizing how you'll handle different challenges, you're priming your brain to respond more effectively when these situations actually arise. It's like creating a mental muscle memory for problem solving. Perhaps the most valuable outcome of developing obstacle immunity is the resilience mindset it fosters. As you engage in regular fail forecasting and develop your ability to anticipate and address challenges, you'll start to view setbacks differently. Instead of seeing them as insurmountable barriers, you'll begin to recognize them as natural parts of the journey towards your goals. This shift in perspective allows you to normalize setbacks. You'll start to see hiccups and obstacles not as signs of failure, but as opportunities for growth and learning. This can be incredibly liberating, freeing you from the fear of failure and allowing you to pursue your goals with greater boldness and creativity. Emphasizing flexibility becomes second nature when you've developed strong obstacle immunity. You'll find yourself able to adjust your plans gracefully in the face of unexpected challenges. Instead of rigidly sticking to your original plan, you'll be able to pivot and adapt, finding new paths towards your goals when the original route is blocked. Perhaps most importantly, this approach reinforces self-efficacy, your belief in your own ability to overcome challenges and achieve your goals. As you successfully navigate obstacles using your pre-planned strategies, you'll build confidence in your problem-solving abilities. This growing trust in yourself becomes a powerful motivator, pushing you to tackle even bigger challenges and set more ambitious goals. As we conclude this exploration of obstacle immunity, take a moment to imagine the impact this approach could have on your journey towards your goals. Picture yourself moving forward with confidence, unfazed by setbacks, because you know you're prepared to handle whatever comes your way. Envision the peace of mind that comes from knowing you've already considered potential challenges and have strategies in place to address them. But remember, obstacle immunity is just one piece of the puzzle. As powerful as this approach is, it's most effective when combined with other strategies. In the next chapter, we'll delve into a concept that will help you capture and preserve the wisdom you gain along your journey. We'll explore a method that turns your experiences, both successes and setbacks, into a valuable resource for future growth. Prepare to discover how to create a lasting legacy from your year's achievements, one that will continue to inspire and guide you long after the year has ended. The journey from experience to enduring wisdom is about to begin, and you won't want to miss what comes next. Chapter 8, Legacy Capsule. As we approach the end of our journey through the year, we find ourselves at a unique juncture. We've planned, we've executed, we've overcome obstacles, and we've grown. But what happens to all of these experiences, these lessons, these moments of triumph and challenge? How do we ensure that the wisdom we've gained doesn't simply fade away as we rush headlong into the next year? This is where the concept of the legacy capsule comes into play. But what exactly is a legacy capsule, and why might it be the key to not just concluding your year, but setting the stage for even greater achievements in the future? At its core, a legacy capsule is a deliberate act of preservation. It's about creating a time capsule of sorts, but instead of random mementos, you're carefully curating a collection of your year's most significant experiences, insights, and accomplishments. But why go through this process? What power lies in this act of documentation and reflection? The answer lies in the profound impact that reflective practices can have on our sense of self and our motivation for future growth. Grounded in self-affirmation theory, the process of acknowledging our progress and the lessons we've learned along the way does more than just boost our ego. It actually strengthens our identity, reinforcing our sense of who we are and what we're capable of achieving. But the legacy capsule is more than just a pat on the back. It's a powerful tool for fueling long-term motivation. By documenting your growth, you create a tangible record of your journey. This record serves as both a meaningful conclusion to your year and a springboard for continuous improvement. So why is this approach so important? First and foremost, it creates a tangible record of your journey. In the hustle and bustle of daily life, it's easy to lose sight of how far we've come. The legacy capsule serves as a concrete reminder of your progress, your challenges, and your growth. Moreover, this process reinforces self-awareness and the lessons you've learned throughout the year. By taking the time to reflect on and document your experiences, you solidify these insights in your mind. You're not just passively experiencing life, you're actively learning from it and carrying those lessons forward. Perhaps most importantly, the legacy capsule provides a sense of closure and accomplishment. It allows you to draw a line under the year, acknowledging all that you've achieved and experienced. This act of closure can be incredibly satisfying, giving you a sense of completion before you launch into the next year's goals. So how do we put this powerful concept into practice? It starts with a series of thoughtful exercises designed to capture the essence of your year. Begin by selecting representative achievements or milestones to include in your capsule. These could be major project completions, personal breakthroughs, or any moments that stand out as particularly significant. Next, take some time to write a brief reflection summarizing your year's challenges and growth. This isn't about crafting a polished essay, but rather about honestly capturing your thoughts and feelings about the year. What were your biggest struggles? Where did you see the most growth? What surprised you about yourself? Once you've compiled your capsule contents, the final step is to seal it and schedule a date to reopen it. This act of sealing is symbolic, representing the closure of one chapter and the anticipation of the next. Choose a reopening date that feels meaningful to you, perhaps the start of the next year, or a significant date in your personal or professional life. As you engage in this process, you might be curious about the potential outcomes. At the very least, creating a legacy capsule will give you a clear memory of what you accomplished throughout the year. It's all too easy for our achievements to blur together or fade from memory, but your capsule serves as a concrete reminder of your progress. For those who fully embrace this method, the results can be truly transformative. You're likely to gain an enhanced understanding of your personal growth patterns. As you document your journey year after year, you'll start to see trends in how you approach challenges, where you tend to excel, and areas where you consistently struggle. This self-knowledge is invaluable for future goal setting and personal development. At its best, the legacy capsule creates a documented legacy that informs and inspires future goal setting. Imagine being able to look back not just on the past year, but on several years of growth and achievement. This long-term perspective can be incredibly motivating, showing you just how far you've come and inspiring you to set even more ambitious goals for the future. Of course, as with any powerful tool, there are potential pitfalls to be aware of. One common issue is overstuffing the capsule. In your enthusiasm to document everything, you might be tempted to include too much, leading to a cluttered and overwhelming collection. Remember, the goal is to capture the essence of your year, not every single detail. Be selective, focusing on the most meaningful and representative elements. Another challenge you might face is missing key milestones. In the rush to compile your capsule, it's possible to overlook significant achievements or experiences. To avoid this, take some time to review your annual timeline, ensuring you've covered all the major events and accomplishments of your year. Poor organization can also diminish the impact of your legacy capsule. When you eventually reopen it, you want to be able to easily revisit and understand its contents. Structure your entries in a logical way, perhaps chronologically or by theme, to make future reflection as meaningful as possible. As you become more adept at creating your legacy capsule, you'll likely develop a keen sense for documenting your journey. This involves carefully selecting artifacts that truly represent your year. These might include key metrics that show your progress, journal entries that capture pivotal moments, or tangible representations of your achievements. Organizing these materials is an art in itself. The goal is to create a coherent narrative of your year, one that tells the story of your growth and accomplishments. This might involve arranging items chronologically or grouping them by theme or area of your life. Throughout this process, it's crucial to preserve accuracy. While it's natural to want to focus on the positives, a truly valuable legacy capsule will also acknowledge the challenges and setbacks you faced. This honesty creates a more complete and reflective record, one that will provide deeper insights when you revisit it in the future. One of the most powerful aspects of the legacy capsule is the emotional and psychological closure it provides. The act of compiling and sealing your capsule serves as a symbolic conclusion to your year's journey. It's a moment to pause, to acknowledge all that you've been through, and to prepare yourself for the next chapter. This process of closure also allows you to internalize the lessons you've learned throughout the year. As you reflect on your experiences and document them, you're not just recording events, you're extracting wisdom that will serve you well in the future. These insights become part of who you are, informing your decisions and actions going forward. Perhaps most importantly, creating a legacy capsule is an opportunity to express gratitude for your own effort and dedication. It's easy to focus on results and overlook the hard work that went into achieving them. Take this moment to recognize your commitment, your resilience, and your willingness to push yourself towards your goals. The true power of the legacy capsule lies in its future-oriented nature. While it captures the past, its real value emerges when you reopen it at a set time in the future. Establishing a routine for revisiting your capsule, perhaps at the start of each new year, creates a powerful cycle of reflection and goal setting. When you do reopen your capsule, you'll have the opportunity to compare your expectations with your outcomes. How did your actual achievements align with your initial visions? Where did you exceed your expectations, and where did you fall short? This comparison isn't about judgment, but about gaining a deeper understanding of your goal-setting and achievement process. The insights you gain from revisiting your legacy capsule become fuel for your future planning. They inform your goal setting, help you refine your strategies, and provide motivation as you embark on your next year of growth and achievement. In this way, your past becomes a powerful resource for shaping your future. As we conclude this exploration of the legacy capsule, take a moment to imagine the impact this practice could have on your life. Picture yourself at the end of your year, carefully selecting the items that best represent your journey. Envision the satisfaction of sealing your capsule, knowing that you've captured the essence of your growth and achievements. And imagine the excitement and inspiration you'll feel when you reopen that capsule in the future, seeing tangible evidence of how far you've come. But remember, the legacy capsule is just one piece of the puzzle. As powerful as this practice is, it's most effective when combined with other strategies. In the next chapter, we'll explore a concept that will help you transition from reflection to action. We'll delve into a method that takes all the wisdom and growth you've captured in your legacy capsule and transforms it into a launchpad for your next year of achievement. Prepare to discover how to turn the closing of one chapter into the exciting beginning of another. The journey from reflection to renewed purpose is about to begin, and you won't want to miss what comes next. Chapter 9: New Roots. As we reach the final chapter of our journey together, it's time to pause and reflect on the transformative path we've traveled. You've learned powerful strategies, implemented life-changing techniques, and undoubtedly grown in ways you might not have imagined when you first opened this book. But what does it all mean as you stand at the threshold of a new year, ready to embark on fresh adventures and pursue new ambitions? This is where the concept of new roots comes into play. But what exactly do we mean by new roots, and why is it such a crucial final step in our year-long journey of growth and achievement? At its core, new roots is about recognizing the deep, sturdy foundation you've built throughout the year. It's about acknowledging how your accomplishments, lessons learned, and personal growth have taken root, creating a solid base from which your future ambitions can flourish. But why is this recognition so important? Studies on goal maintenance have consistently shown that concluding cycles with a sense of completion is vital for ongoing motivation and success. By taking the time to acknowledge how far you've come, You're not just patting yourself on the back, you're actively reinforcing your foundation of confidence and insight. This reinforced foundation ensures that your new goals grow from rich, well-nurtured soil, giving them the best possible chance of thriving. So, how can what you've learned in this book empower you moving forward? First and foremost, you've gained increased self-efficacy from a well-structured planning system. The techniques you've mastered, from annual Vantage to granular mapping to priority sculpting, have given you a robust framework for setting and achieving goals. This structure doesn't just make you more effective, it boosts your belief in your ability to accomplish what you set out to do. Moreover, you now have sustainable motivation anchored in clear methodologies. The ritual stacking and momentum anchors you've established create a daily rhythm that keeps you moving forward, even when motivation might waver. You're no longer reliant on fleeting bursts of inspiration. Instead, you have a systematic approach to maintaining your drive and focus. Perhaps most importantly, you've developed enhanced resilience through proactive strategies like obstacle immunity. You're no longer at the mercy of unexpected challenges. Instead, you're prepared to face them head-on, with pre-planned strategies and a mindset that views obstacles as opportunities for growth. But the impact of what you've learned extends far beyond your personal productivity and achievement. You might be surprised to discover how these new skills and approaches can significantly improve your relationships. With a more balanced use of time and attention, you'll likely find yourself more personally available to the people who matter most in your life. Your improved ability to manage your goals and priorities means you're less likely to be constantly distracted or stressed, allowing you to be more present in your interactions. Your communication is likely to improve as well, as your goals and schedules become more transparent. When you're clear about your priorities and have a structured approach to achieving them, it becomes easier to articulate your needs and boundaries to others. This clarity can lead to more understanding and support from those around you. Furthermore, the reduced stress and clearer priorities that come from effective goal management often result in a stronger emotional presence. When you're not constantly worried about dropping balls or falling behind, you have more mental and emotional energy to invest in your relationships. Now, let's consider what you'll be able to achieve moving forward that might have seemed out of reach before. With the tools and strategies you've acquired, you're now equipped to undertake more ambitious projects with confidence. The fear of biting off more than you can chew is replaced by the knowledge that you have a systematic approach to breaking down and tackling even the most daunting goals. You'll also find yourself able to adapt more fluidly to changing circumstances without losing momentum. The obstacle immunity you've developed means that unexpected shifts or setbacks no longer throw you off course. Instead, you can pivot and adjust your plans while keeping your eye on the ultimate objective. Perhaps most excitingly, you now have the ability to transform vague wishes into tangible, trackable accomplishments. No more nebulous New Year's resolutions that fade by February. With your new skills in granular mapping and priority sculpting, you can take even the most ambitious dreams and turn them into concrete, achievable action plans. As you continue to practice the concepts in this book, you'll likely find that your results improve with less and less effort. This is the power of habitual efficiency. As these strategies become second nature, you'll spend less mental energy on the process of goal setting and achievement, and more on the actual work of moving forward. You'll also develop the ability to rapidly recalibrate your plans as you gain mastery in strategic thinking. The more you practice these techniques, the more intuitive they'll become, allowing you to adjust your approach on the fly with confidence and precision. Over multiple yearly cycles, you'll experience accelerated growth stemming from cumulative learning. Each year builds on the last, with lessons learned and skills honed compounding over time. What once seemed like a Herculean effort becomes almost effortless as you refine your approach and deepen your understanding of yourself and your capabilities. As we near the end of our journey together, it's crucial to take a moment to acknowledge the deep foundations you've built. Recognize the stability you've created. Understand that the solid base you've constructed this year isn't just about the goals you've achieved, but about the person you've become in the process. Value the incremental growth you've experienced. It's easy to overlook the small steps, but remember that these seemingly minor advancements are what yield substantial roots. Each small victory, each lesson learned, each obstacle overcome has contributed to your growth and resilience. Take time to assess the structural integrity of your foundation. Ensure that the base you've built aligns with your core values and long-term vision. This alignment is crucial for sustainable growth and fulfillment. As you prepare for expansion in the coming year, build on the lessons you've learned. Use the insights you've gained to scale new heights. Embrace the concept of continuous improvement, understanding that each year refines and builds upon the last. Allow your future goals to emerge organically from this solid foundation, evolving as you grow and change. Finally, carry forward the momentum you've built. Use the confidence you've gained as a resource, leveraging your past wins as proof of your capability. Integrate your achievements into your self-perception, allowing them to reinforce your identity as someone who sets ambitious goals and achieves them. Perhaps most importantly, start viewing time cycles holistically. Recognize that each year is not an isolated unit, but a building block in your lifelong journey of mastery and growth. The skills and insights you've gained this year aren't just for the next 12 months. They're tools you'll carry with you and refine for the rest of your life. As we conclude this book, I want you to take a moment to truly appreciate the transformation you've undergone. You started this journey with hopes and dreams for what you could achieve in a year. Now, you stand not just with accomplishments under your belt, but with a robust set of tools and strategies that will serve you for years to come. You've not just learned how to achieve goals, you've learned how to become a person who consistently sets, pursues, and accomplishes meaningful objectives. You've developed not just productivity skills, but a mindset of growth, resilience, and continuous improvement. The true power of what you've learned lies not in any single technique or strategy, but in the holistic approach to life and achievement that you've developed. You now have the ability to craft not just successful years, but a successful life, one where your actions align with your values, where you're consistently growing and evolving, and where you're making a meaningful impact in the areas that matter most to you. As you close this book and step into your next year, remember that the journey doesn't end here. In fact, it's just beginning. You're standing on the threshold of unlimited potential, armed with the tools and insights to make your boldest dreams a reality. The roots you've established this year are ready to support whatever ambitious goals you set next. But to truly flourish, these roots need daily nourishment. How can you ensure that each day contributes to your long-term success? The answer lies in mastering the art of daily execution. Discover how to transform your daily routine into a powerful catalyst for achieving your yearly goals in the audiobook, Master Your Day, Plan, Execute, Achieve. This essential companion will show you how to align your daily actions with your grand vision, maximizing the impact of the strategies you've learned here. Tap the center of the video now to continue your transformation journey.